What's up everyone and welcome back to MMA Talk. During a recent live stream on Kick, UFC legend Max Holloway made his stance clear regarding any potential future in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship (BKFC), and his response left no room for doubt. When a fan asked whether he would consider fighting in BKFC after retiring from the UFC, Holloway laughed off the idea, calling bare knuckle fighting the most stupidest thing in the world. Despite being one of the most technically gifted and entertaining strikers in MMA history, Holloway stated that once he's retired from the UFC, he's done with combat sports that put unnecessary risks on fighters' health. "I ain't never going to do bare knuckle fight," Holloway said. "That's the most stupidest thing ever in the world. When I'm retired, bro. Maybe I do a boxing match, but not a bare knuckle one. That's ridiculous." His comments surprised many fans, especially given Holloway's reputation for standing toe-to-toe with opponents and engaging in wild exchanges, particularly in the final seconds of his fights. Over the years, the Hawaiian star has earned a reputation as one of the most fearless strikers in the sport, often taunting opponents to trade blows in thrilling fashion. For someone with his skill set and toughness, many assumed a transition to BKFC after retirement might be a natural fit. However, Holloway made it abundantly clear that such a move will never happen. He went on to criticize not only bare knuckle fighting but also Power Slap, the slap fighting promotion backed by UFC President Dana White. Holloway expressed disbelief that athletes would willingly participate in such dangerous activities. "People who do slap or bare knuckle, bro, you guys are crazy," he said. "The slap one is so nuts. Why would I want to just stand there and let someone hit me like that? That's actually crazy." Holloway's comments highlight a growing divide between traditional combat sports and the newer, more extreme fighting formats that have emerged in recent years. BKFC, in particular, has gained attention by recruiting several high-profile former UFC fighters, including the likes of Eddie Alvarez, Mike Perry, and Paige Van Zandt. The promotion is known for offering lucrative paydays, something that has tempted many veterans to step into the bare-knuckle ring despite the risks involved. Still, Holloway seems determined to prioritize long-term health over short-term financial gain. "When I'm done," he reiterated, signaling that retirement will truly mean the end of his fighting days, at least in terms of combat sports without gloves. That said, Holloway did leave a small window open for a potential move to boxing, saying he might consider a traditional boxing match if the opportunity felt right. Given his sharp hands, world-class cardio, and fan-friendly style, a boxing bout could easily draw massive interest, especially against a big-name opponent. While the idea of seeing Holloway in BKFC is now off the table, fans can still dream of one more striking spectacle, perhaps in a crossover boxing event. For now, though, Blessed is focused on his UFC career and, when the time comes, plans to retire on his own terms. Whether he chooses to ride off into the sunset or lace up boxing gloves one last time, one thing is certain: Max Holloway's fighting legacy is already secured. Gloves or no gloves, before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out and ensures you'll never miss an update. Move on to another news. In a recent interview, Mauricio Ruffi, a close friend and training partner of Alex Pereira, revealed shocking details about an injury that the UFC champion suffered ahead of his first fight against Magomed Ankalaev. According to Ruffi, Pereira went into the bout with a cracked shin, a serious injury that severely affected his movement and preparation but was kept completely hidden from the public at the time. After the first fight, fans were quick to speculate that something had been wrong with Pereira's health. Many believed that he had either been ill or carrying an undisclosed leg injury, noting that his performance lacked the explosive movement and devastating power he's known for. Those suspicions have now been confirmed. "Now that everything's over, I can say it," Ruffi admitted in the interview. "Alex was fighting with a cracked shin in that first fight. His shin was so injured he could barely walk. He lost, but he still went out there and fought." This revelation paints Pereira's performance in a whole new light. Despite the injury, he still managed to throw an astonishing 55 leg kicks, landing 48 of them, according to the official fight statistics. Out of his 78 total significant strikes, more than half were leg kicks, an incredible feat considering that each strike likely sent shooting pain through his already damaged leg. Many fans had initially believed his injury was related to his upper body or perhaps a lingering illness, but the truth reveals a far greater level of toughness and determination than anyone realized. To make matters even more challenging, Pereira later admitted that he was also battling an illness leading up to the fight. In an earlier statement, the Brazilian knockout artist said he was operating at just 40% of his full capacity that night, suggesting his performance was heavily compromised both physically and mentally. Between the cracked shin and illness, it's now clear that Pereira entered the cage under far less than ideal circumstances, yet still put up a competitive performance against one of the most dangerous light heavyweights in the world. In the rematch, however, a completely different Pereira emerged. Fully recovered in back-to-peak condition, the Brazilian powerhouse showcased the elite striking and composure that made him a two-division champion. From the opening bell, he was sharper, faster, and more confident, a stark contrast to his limited movement in the first encounter. This improvement not only demonstrated his resilience and recovery but also also proved that his earlier loss had more to do with his physical state than any technical shortcoming. Mauricio Ruffy's revelation offers fans a deeper appreciation for Pereira's warrior mentality. Competing in the UFC with a cracked shin is nearly unthinkable for most athletes, yet Pereira not only did it, he still managed to make the fight competitive while relying heavily on the very weapon that was injured, his legs. Now that the truth is out, Pereira's comeback and eventual redemption in the rematch seem even more impressive. Fighting through pain, illness, and adversity, he once again showed why he's regarded as one of the toughest and most dangerous fighters in combat sports. His ability to overcome such obstacles cements his legacy as a modern-day gladiator, one who refuses to let injury or hardship define him. Move on to another news. During a recent discussion on their show, Sean O'Malley and the MMA guru weighed in on the current situation surrounding former UFC double champion Henry Cejudo, suggesting that Triple C might be dealing with financial issues and seeking one last payday before officially retiring from mixed martial arts. According to O'Malley, who has both praised and criticized Cejudo in the past, he heard from a reliable insider that Cejudo could be struggling financially, which might explain his repeated attempts to secure another fight in the UFC. "I won't say where I heard it from," O'Malley stated, "but from what I've been told by close sources, Henry might be near bankrupt. It seems like he's saying, 'UFC, give me a fight, please.'" O'Malley's comments came as part of a broader conversation about Cejudo's long-running pattern of announcing retirements and comebacks. The show's producer, Garrett, humorously noted that this would mark the 16th time Cejudo has claimed he's retiring. O'Malley responded by saying that Cejudo's repeated retirements appear to be a marketing tactic, one designed to generate buzz or leverage the UFC into giving him another high-profile matchup. "I think Henry does this whole retirement thing to get people to care again," O'Malley said. "But it just doesn't seem to work anymore. He's done it a few times now, and each time it falls flat. People have stopped reacting." Cejudo, who famously captured both the bantamweight and flyweight titles, initially retired in 2020 after defeating Dominic Cruz, citing a desire to start a family and pursue other ventures. However, he later made multiple attempts to return, calling out several top contenders, including Aljamain Sterling, Merab Dvalishvili, and even O'Malley himself. Each comeback announcement was met with mixed reactions from fans, some excited to see his elite skills back in action, others skeptical of his motives. O'Malley and the MMA guru both agreed that Cejudo's constant retire and return cycle may have hurt his public image. "He's tried everything," O'Malley said. "The fake retirements, the callouts, even the eye poke controversies. It feels like he's trying to stay relevant, but it's not working like it used to." They also reflected on Cejudo's decision to vacate his titles when he was still in his prime. "That was probably his biggest mistake," O'Malley added. "If he had stayed active as champion instead of walking away, he could have built an even greater legacy. Now, with guys like Merab Dvalishvili dominating the division, that window is closing fast." Financial speculation aside, it's not unusual for retired fighters to seek one last big payday before officially hanging up the gloves. MMA is a sport with limited earning opportunities, and many athletes, even champions, have faced financial struggles after leaving the octagon. Whether Cejudo's rumored money problems are true or not, O'Malley believes the former Olympian is eager to make one final run before stepping away for good. If true, this revelation adds another layer of intrigue to Cejudo's career narrative, from Olympic gold medalist to two-division UFC champion, and now possibly a fighter looking for one last chance to cash in. As O'Malley put it, Henry's one of the greatest to ever do it. But maybe it's time for him to stop playing retirement games and just focus on finishing his career strong. Move on to another news. In a recent interview with MMAfighting.com, former UFC interim lightweight champion Dustin Poirier opened up about the emotional challenges of retirement, admitting that stepping away from the octagon has been far more difficult than he anticipated. Known for his grit, heart, and warrior mentality inside the cage, Poirier has spent over 2 decades dedicating his life to fighting, and now, as he transitions into life outside the sport, he's realizing just how deeply the fight game shaped his identity. "I thought retirement would be a relief," Poirier said. "I thought when I finally put the gloves down, I'd feel this weight lifted off my shoulders, no more pressure of constantly having to get better or worrying about the next opponent. But honestly, it hasn't felt that way. Maybe I'm still processing it, maybe it just takes more time, but it's definitely harder than I expected." For Poirier, the structure and purpose that came with being a fighter are hard to replace. He described waking up every morning with a sense of mission to train harder, learn new techniques, improve as a martial artist, and prepare for the next battle. "For 20 years, my life was about progress," he said. "Every day I woke up with that fire to be a better fighter, to push myself physically and mentally. Martial arts was how I discovered who I was, it was my journey of self-discovery. And then one day, it's just gone. You wake up, and that part of your life isn't there anymore. The fire is still inside you, but you know you're not going to get to use it the same way again." Poirier reflected on how this shift has been emotionally taxing. For a fighter who built a career on bouncing back from adversity, the idea that he no longer gets a chance to right the ship after a loss feels strange. "Every time I lost in my career, I always had the chance to fix it, to train harder, come back, and win again," he said. "But walking away now, I know that was it. it. I don't get that chance anymore. I miss it more than I thought I would. Despite the challenges, Poirier is trying to stay busy and adapt to his new reality. Time heals all, he said. I'm taking it day by day, trying to keep my mind occupied. The days feel long when I'm not training or doing road work. Fighting wasn't just a sport to me, it was a way of life. Poirier also acknowledged that his family played a major role in his decision to retire. After his most recent bout, which he described as a premeditated farewell, both his wife and family expressed concern for his long-term health. That last fight felt like a perfect send-off, he said. We had time to prepare for it, to reflect on my career, to share moments from when I was a young fighter. It was emotional. To try to top that would feel wrong. I'd be doing myself a disservice by coming back. Still, Poirier hesitated to completely close the door on a potential return, leaving fans with a glimmer of hope. Never say never, he admitted, but it would take the perfect set of circumstances for me to ever put the gloves back on. As he continues to adjust to post-fight life, one thing is clear: Dustin Poirier's passion for the sport hasn't faded, even if his time in the cage may have come to an end. His honesty about the emotional struggle of retirement offers a rare glimpse into the reality many fighters face once the lights dim and the roar of the crowd fades away. Move on to another news. In the lead-up to UFC 321, an unexpected near encounter between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane created quite a stir among fans and media alike. The two top heavyweight contenders, who are set to face each other in one of the most anticipated bouts of the year, almost crossed paths at the Fighter Hotel, an encounter that could have easily turned tense given the competitive stakes and high emotions surrounding their upcoming clash. According to reports and eyewitness accounts, both fighters happened to arrive at the hotel around the same time as they were going through media obligations and final preparations before fight week officially kicked off. As Aspinall entered through the main lobby, Gane was reportedly coming out from a nearby hallway after completing an interview session. Security personnel and UFC staff, who are always alert during these critical pre-fight moments, quickly intervened to ensure there was no direct confrontation between the two athletes. Those present described the moment as unexpectedly calm yet charged with silent intensity. Aspinall, known for his composed and respectful demeanor, reportedly gave a polite nod when he noticed Gane, while the Frenchman, equally professional, simply smiled and continued walking. Despite the briefness of the encounter, the atmosphere in the room was electric. Everyone knew that the next time these two heavyweights would be in the same space, it wouldn't be in a hotel lobby, it would be inside the octagon. Following the incident, fans began speculating online about whether any verbal exchange had taken place. A few clips circulating on social media captured part of the moment, though neither fighter appeared to say much beyond a quick greeting. One bystander claimed he heard someone ask, "You okay?" to which the other responded, "All good." While it was unclear who said what, it reinforced the sense of professionalism both men have maintained throughout their fight buildup. This near face-to-face moment only adds to the growing excitement surrounding Aspinall versus Gane. Both men represent the new era of UFC heavyweights, athletic, technical, and highly intelligent fighters who combine size and power with speed and precision. Aspinall, the reigning interim heavyweight champion, has been vocal about his desire to unify the belt and prove he's the best in the world. Gane, meanwhile, is determined to reclaim his position as the top contender after previous setbacks and has been working tirelessly to round out his game, particularly his wrestling and defensive grappling. What makes this matchup even more compelling is the mutual respect between the two. Both fighters have praised each other's skills publicly, but that doesn't mean there's any lack of competitiveness. This quiet, accidental hotel encounter serves as a symbolic reminder that their paths were destined to collide, and soon, only one of them will walk away as the true heavyweight force in the UFC. As fight week progresses, tensions are expected to rise, media attention will intensify, and both athletes will continue fine-tuning their strategies. But if this near meeting is any indication, fans can expect an explosive yet respectful battle between two of the division's finest, a true showcase of elite heavyweight mixed martial arts at its peak. Move on to another news. In a recent interview, Umar Nurmagomedov, the rising UFC bantamweight contender and cousin of former lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov, shared his thoughts on fellow fighter Patchy, suggesting that the former Bellator champion may be declining in his career since making the transition to the UFC. Patchy, who entered the UFC with significant hype following a dominant run in Bellator, made his promotional debut at UFC 316, where he lost via unanimous decision to Mario Bautista. He then followed up with a split decision loss to Jakub Vquat at UFC 320, marking a disappointing start to his UFC journey. While many fans attribute his slow start to the adjustment period of facing new competition and adapting to the UFC's pace, Umar believes the issue might be deeper than that. Speaking candidly, Umar explained that no fighter can remain at the same level forever, they either evolve or decline. "Brother, no person can stay in the same position all the time," he said. "You either go up or you go down. You have to grow, you have to work hard, always grow up. If you don't keep pushing, you start going down." According to Nurmagomedov, Patchy hasn't looked the same since joining the UFC, and that lack of progression might indicate a decline in his motivation or preparation. "What I see with Patchy," Umar continued, "I see how he's gone down. Maybe he's not training as hard, maybe he's missing that fire inside for fighting. He's not the same Patchy Mix that used to fight before. Umar went on to recall Mix's earlier performances, particularly his fights outside the UFC, where he displayed world-class grappling and relentless pressure. He mentioned Mix's bout against Tiger Magomedov, highlighting how impressive Mix once was in exchanges with elite competition. His fight with Tiger was very close, Umar said. I even thought Magomedov deserved to win, but still, Patchy was very good back then. Now, it feels different. His class looks like it's going down. Despite his critique, Umar made it clear that his comments came from a place of respect rather than rivalry. I don't want to talk bad about Patchy Mix, he emphasized. I really respect this guy. He's helped me a lot in training. Even when I was in Las Vegas, he came and helped me. He's a good person and a very skilled fighter. Umar praised Mix's natural abilities, noting that he still possesses elite tools that could carry him back to top form if he reignites his passion. He has very heavy hands, Umar said. His ground and pound is strong, and the way he takes the back and controls opponents is amazing. I know he can do much better, I just don't know what's missing right now. In essence, Umar Nurmagomedov's assessment of Patchy Mix was both honest and empathetic. He believes Mix remains an elite fighter with exceptional skills but suggests that the spark that once made him a dominant force might have dimmed slightly since joining the UFC. Whether Mix can rediscover that hunger remains to be seen, but if he does, he could still become a major player in the bantamweight division. For now, Umar's words serve as both a critique and a challenge, a reminder that in the unforgiving world of mixed martial arts, staying at the top requires not just skill, but relentless dedication and a fire that never fades. Move on to another news. In a recent interview, Michael Venom Page, the flashy striker known for his unique fighting style and precise technical striking, shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated interim heavyweight title bout between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane ahead of UFC 321. Page, who has transitioned successfully from Bellator to the UFC, didn't hold back in his analysis, giving a confident prediction in favor of Tom Aspinall. Page began by acknowledging that he has great respect for both fighters, particularly Ciryl Gane, whose striking skills and movement have long been praised as some of the best in the heavyweight division. I'm a fan of Ciryl Gane, Page said. He's a very talented striker and moves incredibly well for a man of his size. But for me, I just feel like Tom Aspinall represents the next generation, the evolution of what we've seen before from greats like John Jones. Drawing parallels between Aspinall and the legendary light heavyweight champion, Page highlighted the way Jones revolutionized his division through speed, intelligence, and technical mastery. When John Jones came into the scene, he brought something new, Page explained. He dominated with versatility, fight IQ, and adaptability. I see the same thing happening with Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight division. His combination of speed, power, and composure is something we haven't really seen before at heavyweight. According to Page, Aspinall's unique style, fluid footwork, quick reactions, and elite-level boxing sets him apart from his peers. At heavyweight, we're used to seeing big, powerful guys who rely heavily on knockout shots or grappling strength, Page continued. But Tom moves like a middleweight. His balance, his explosiveness, and his ability to read opponents make him extremely dangerous. That's something new and special. While Ciryl Gane is often praised for his agility and technical kickboxing, Page believes Aspinall has a decisive edge in both power and versatility. Gane has a bit of a bounce to his style, very light on his feet, Page said. But I don't think he has the same snap or raw power that Tom brings to the table. Tom has that perfect blend of speed and knockout strength, and beyond that, his ground game is also very underrated. Although Page doesn't necessarily expect this particular fight to hit the canvas, he made it clear that Aspinall's grappling ability could play a crucial role if it does. You probably won't see much of his ground game in this fight, he admitted, but people forget that Tom's a black belt in jiu-jitsu and incredibly dangerous if the fight goes there. If he ever gets top control, it's pretty much over. Ultimately, Page's prediction was straightforward. He expects Tom Aspinall to win, likely by knockout. I feel like he could get a knockout in this fight, Page stated confidently. He's just operating on another level right now. Cyryl's great, but Tom's combination of confidence, movement, and finishing ability makes him something special. In Page's view, Aspinall isn't just another contender, he's the future face of the heavyweight division. We're witnessing the evolution of what a heavyweight can be, he concluded. Tom Aspinall has all the tools to dominate the division for years to come. With endorsements from fellow elite fighters like Michael Venom Page, it's clear that Tom Aspinall's rise isn't just hype, it's a transformation in how the modern heavyweight athlete is defined. As the clash with Ciryl Gane draws closer, all eyes will be on Aspinall to see if he can live up to those massive expectations and solidify his place as the new king of the division.